Hey there everyone, it's Dr. Glenn Davies for Reversal NZ and for Reverse T2 Diabetes Topol, coming to you from the greenhouse. And today I'm asking the question, what makes you fat? Okay, what makes you fat? Now this is probably a 4-year degree course, but we're going to cover it in 5 minutes. So obviously we're going to do this in a very superficial way. But here we go. What makes you fat? So the first question, is it calories that make you fat? This concept of energy in, energy out. If you eat less and you do a lot of exercise and burn the calories, will that stop you from getting fat, and will that cause you to lose weight? And the answer is no, even though it should be yes, because that's the first law of thermodynamics. So yes, if you put less energy in and you burn a lot of energy, it should cause you to lose weight. And the answer to why it doesn't is very complex, but I've listed a few things. So first of all, the thermic effect of food. So what that means is that it takes energy to burn food. Interestingly, protein takes a lot more energy to burn than fats and carbohydrates do. So that's a factor. Stress is a factor. Sleep is a factor. Most importantly, the insulin switch. You would have heard me talk before about the insulin switch. So if insulin levels are high, you will store fat, and if insulin levels are low, you will burn fat. When you eat seems to be important. How the food is processed seems to be really important. You would have heard me talk in the past about this experiment where rats were given normal rat chow, which is in pellets, and another group of rats were given powder. It was exactly the same amount of food, and the rats that had the powder gained weight, and the rats that had the pellets didn't, indicating that how the food is processed makes a difference. Also, the microbiome is important. This feeds into short chain fatty acids, fiber, being digested by the gut microbiome into short chain fatty acids. And if I'm recalling correctly, up to 15% of calories can come from the conversion of fiber into short chain fatty acids. So that's just a quick tour to make you realize that it's much more complicated than counting calories in and counting calories out. So effectively, it's not about calories. However, if you ate 5,000 calories per day in whatever form, you probably would gain weight, in fairness. Now, is it fat that makes you fat? And this was a really good theory, because it was observed that carbohydrates and proteins have 4 calories per gram, and fat has 9 calories per gram, so twice as energy dense. So the idea that if you avoid eating fat and you eat protein or carbohydrate, because it's got half the amount of calories, you are less likely to gain weight, or if you're wanting to lose weight, more likely to lose it. However, that idea was a failure, because in the most simplistic form, the fat that you eat is burnt for energy, and it's so therefore it probably is not fat that makes you fat. So then we come down to carbohydrates, and as you know, it's carbohydrates that make you fat. Okay, so carbohydrates become blood sugar. Excess blood sugar gets converted by the liver through de novo lipogenesis into fat, and that fat is stored. So it is excess carbohydrate that becomes stored fat. So, and as you would have heard me talk about before, when your insulin levels are high from eating carbohydrate, you go into fat storage mode. We've called this the insulin switch. So when insulin is high, you store fat. When insulin is low, you burn fat. So if you're eating a whole lot of carbohydrate, even if it's small amounts, you're spiking your insulin. the insulin switch will be into fat storage mode. And even if you're exercising a lot, even if you're limiting your calories, if you are in fat storage mode, you will store fat. It will be very difficult to lose weight. So, in summary, is it calories? No. Is it fat, even though there's 9 calories per gram in fat? No. It's excess carbohydrate, particularly refined, ultra-processed carbohydrate, that makes you fat. So if you are wanting to lose weight, you must flick the insulin switch. You must get your insulin levels low. You do that by significantly reducing your carbohydrates. You will turn on fat burning. You will use stored fat for fuel, and that is how you lose weight. Thank you.